It is July 2014. Here's my 2 cents review of All in the Family Season 3. I just want to jump off from a quote from Carroll O'Connor, who played the legendary Archie Bunker from this series. And what he says in this quote is kind of what Season 3 is all about. From Carroll O'Connor. That was Archie. All his preconceptions keeping him from enjoying life. That was my message because Archie never enjoyed anything. Something was poisoning life for him. He didn't realize that it was inside of himself. So something was poisoning from inside of himself, which of course is a very dramatic turn, but we're playing this as a comedy, which is there's always something when I'm like always studying comedy. The more dramatic the moment, the funnier the scene can be if it's set with a different lens. And that's what comedy is in a nutshell, where he can turn this kind of like interesting character that he's everybody's bigot. He's the bigot that we all kind of know growing up, or many of us know growing up about, especially for white people, basically like these older generation, these war generation people who are have these preconceptions in their mind, and they're completely racist and they're completely bigoted, but there's something sweet about them. I know that's kind of ironic in a sense, and they're not angry sad people. They're just trying to figure out what life is for them. And using that quote from Archie is that he's always trying to keep something from enjoying life. So season 3, if you study this season, which is an interesting season, I don't think it's nearly as good as season 1 or season 2, because the season 1 and season 2 seems to really jumping on something interesting. But season 3, 24, a lot of episodes. A lot of the episodes were entailing of Archie trying to get ahead in life by cheating or scamming or whatever it is. Like there's an episode where he supposedly buys a $300 watch. It breaks. He realizes that he's been sniped, but he doesn't want to believe that. So he wants to believe that he's winning out in the end. He's getting a $300 watch for $25, even though he's really not. There's all kinds of episodes like him trying to get on the bowling team and realizing that there's politics involved. Him trying to get a promotion into the office of his work, but realizing that there's politics involved. Like he even gets a high school diploma, but in the end, it doesn't really turn out for him because there's a political agenda. So he has an ideals about a certain centralist or right wing kind of political approach to politics, Eisenhower kind of politics that he kind of like after the war. This is a general. Eisenhower is this great general who kind of saved the World War II, becomes the president, and he not nearly as right wing as the right wingers are today, but he had the centralist right wing view about the American dream, about like you can get ahead and vice in like where there's like there's no politics involved in the politics. That's Eisenhower's mantra. But Archie kind of stays with that, even though episode by episode in season 3 he's getting shit canned. He's never getting ahead, even though he tries these schemes. He tries to kind of like move forward, but he never gets ahead because actually he goes backwards. He actually loses money or loses some sort of status in the end of every episode. It's tragic. It's like it's a setting up for future comedies where if you even watch the first season of Seinfeld always loses in the end. And basically that's the comedy of it. Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm, always loses in the end. He tries to get ahead, but no good deed. Every good deed gets punished, basically. And for Archie, every scheme gets punished for him. And he keeps trying to get ahead, but he never will. And basically that is what, as Carroll O'Connor said, that's what is poisoning life for him. He basically has an ideal attached about how things should be, but it's not the way it really is. And it's something that we all can relate to in many ways. And the reason why this show works so well is because of that dynamic. And of course, the subplot of season 3 is the progression of women's rights. And it's like there's obviously a very famous episode when Gloria gets attacked by a man on the street, and how basically Charles like basically the detective comes in, basically says you are a woman, and basically you in these days, especially in the 70s, you're still a second class citizen. So no matter what you say, the lawyer and the judge will think something else. It's the Madonna horror complex without saying that in the episode where Gloria wants to do right, and she wants to make sure this guy gets off the streets, but in the end she knows it's for naught. And that's sort of the tragedy of the 1970s, where they're progressing, but women are trying to like jump ahead. But of course there's this tragedy involved within the episode. And like, come on, this is an episode that's not going to be on the Dick Van Dyke Show or even the Honeymooners. Another example of a man trying to get ahead and basically with a scheme, in the end he never gets ahead. And that's sort of what Archie's going through. But in terms of Gloria's arc, where I always felt that she was kind of underwritten in the first two seasons, but she's really kind of she's really the child of Archie and Edith in many ways. And the final episode of season 3 is basically the world showing, or the audience, Norman Lear, the creator, showing that even though Archie's a big barker, Edith is the one who's really the in control. She's really the leader of this household, which is the ironic tone where Edith is the one who's in charge, and that's what they kind of show in the last episode. So interesting season, season 3 of All in the Family. Take a look at it. It's on YouTube. Have fun with it. That's my review.